into the realm of the PL-89, into the realm of the higher time, into the realm of the Messiah time. It is simple to sing the tune, match the sun up with the moon, with the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. It's true. Please see Psalm 72, verse 5. With the sun and before the moon, many generations. Im shemesh v'lefnei reach, dor dorim. The two calendars are one. Match the moon up with the sun. And with that our work is done. And with that our work is done. And with that our work is done. It's fun. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Thursday, March 12th, 2026. It is Yom Hamishi, 5th day of the week, the 23rd day of Adar. And the year 5786, of course. You might be wondering about this sombrero. It has a lot to do with the Hebrew year and the Gregorian year of 86. The song that I continually sing about that describes this calendar is the sun and the moon. It goes to a teaching of the first Rebbe of Chabad that in the redemption, when the Messiah comes, it's dependent upon the meeting of Jacob and Esau, the two brothers who were at odds with each other from inside the womb, as we read about in Genesis chapter 25. And they're two different forces, they're moving at two different speeds, but eventually they meet each other and they make peace. And that's what the redemption is all about. It's about Jacob making peace with Esau, and we're seeing it now with Donald Trump and Netanyahu. The two are working together as friends. It's Jacob and Esau, Jew and Gentile, and the sun and the moon. And that's what this calendar is about. And I didn't forget about the 86. I'm coming back around to that. That being said, now 86, it's a year like 5786, which the year 1986, that would be the Gregorian year, the non-Jewish reckoning of things. 40 years ago, it was 1986. And that's when the movie came out, Three Amigos. If you saw the movie, it's with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. And what's interesting is that there's a Martin there. Martin has a numerical value of 75, and it's been 75 years this year since the appointing of the Lubavitcher Rebbe to becoming the first Rebbe of Chabad, which is another connection. But the Three Amigos came out in 1986, and this year, Purim time, I was looking for a costume, and I went into a store on Karen Kayemet Israel, we call it Kakal for short. And I see this hat there, and I said, this is what I'm going to be wearing for Purim. And this Purim was really extraordinary this year. It was just different, just qualitatively. It was just so unusual this year. And I didn't want to let go of that special light from Purim. So hopefully, Bli Neder, and God willing, hopefully, if I'm able to, I'll be wearing this until Passover, which Passover, it's one geula to the other. And 86 has a lot of connections. So it's in 1986. I remember seeing it in the theater when I was a little kid. I saw, and then we cut to the year 5786, and it's a real connection. And that's what this is all about. It's all about making these logical connections. There are the sun and the moon, Yaakov and Esav, and that's my whole fascination and interest with English gematria, dafka. Like English gematria. I'm into Hebrew gematria, but also working in conjunction with Hebrew gematria, and the results are amazing. If one would only be interested in and take an honest look at it, the results are astounding. But back to the calendar. This is a lunar and solar calendar. It's the Jewish calendar and the non-Jewish calendar together in one. That's the theme. It's the moon and the sun. In my birth chart, also, it's basically many or most of the planets are just the moon and the sun. It's basically just Cancer and Leo. That itself is the moon. It's water and fire. And Jupiter is in Cancer, and the moon is in Leo, and Mercury is in, I think, Leo, and the sun is in Cancer. And the moon is in, the moon is in Leo, Venus is in Leo. It's basically Cancer and Leo, and that alone should say something about my mission in life, is to blend those two, is to make peace with those two, and that's what I'm doing now. And that's why this calendar, I would say the Cancer and Jupiter and Cancer would actually describe my work with this, the way a certain amount of degrees of, I think it was 18 degrees maybe. Been a while since I checked my birth chart, but basically the way it describes, if the planet Jupiter was in Cancer, it describes someone who taps into something unusual, a spiritual discipline, some kind of a teaching that I remember I read this years ago, and when I saw it, I thought this completely describes me. Someone who taps into a type of spiritual knowledge that is outside the box. It's different. It's unusual, and your purpose, your job is to teach it, and that's what I'm doing. This work combines mathematics, biblical studies, metaphysics, and other things, history, other things as well. And it's kind of like a theory of everything that is mathematically and gematriatically formulated and expressed. And so there's different methods of using this calculator, but the one I'm using now is where every day there's a box on this calendar that represents the day on the solar calendar and a day on the lunar calendar. It's two. So for example, today is March 12th. So in this calendar, March 12th will always be in a box that says 37 on it. Right? March 10th is here, 11th, 12th, yeah. 37, yeah. It's also the 23rd day of Adar. 23rd day will always be in a box that has 10 on it. So the lunar number is 10. That represents the 23rd of Adar. The solar number is 37. Represents the 12th day of March. And they're added together. So, of course, that makes 47. And 47 has a numerical value of 149. And then the process is, 149 is written out as a word, and then get that numerical value, becomes a number, then a word, then a number, word. The same thing. It's like you're writing the words out the number out as a word, and then you get the gematria of that using the standard English gematria cipher, which A is 1, B is 2, and Z is 26. 26 letters, ordinally 1 through 26, A through Z. And that cipher is outstanding. And tremendous things in it. Correlations, like wonderful, beautiful, mind-boggling things that maybe I think most people don't even realize. For example, if you apply that cipher to many, many words, they have the same number, the things that they are. Like for example, you can just try this for yourself. If you want to test out the cipher. And here, before I even say this, I'm going to preempt it by mentioning something a skeptic would say, or might say, that they might say that you might find some matches, but there's plenty more things that don't match. And I'll tell you, yes, you're right. They don't match, but there's reasons that they don't match. Because it has to be constructed perfectly in order. Not everything can match. Because the words, based on the sounds and the usage of the letters and the way they're added up, it's going to be, if you're going to make these two things match, it's going to take away from this one. So the way they match and the way they don't match are balanced. This is my theory, this thesis I'm working on, just right. Like for example, give you some things that you might think this is a little abstract, so I'll give you a perfect example. And if you have a calculator, if you have just your pen and paper, and you want to add it up yourself, you can see it. Remember, this is the cipher, the standard, this is the universal cipher. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. If you do that, the word why, like the question, like why is this so? What's the reason? WHY. I'll spell this one out for you so you can see. W is the 23rd letter, H is the 8th letter, and Y is the 25th letter. Add those three numbers together, it's 56. The word because, B is the second letter, E is the 5th letter, A is the 1st, U is the 21st, S is the 19th, E is 5. You add those together, it's also 56. Y literally equals because. And why is the question, and because is the answer, but the relationship is clear. And the fact that they have the same number is something you don't have to be, it's not like science, or this is not guessing, this is not theories, this is not my philosophy. No, y equals because numerically. They add up. I'll give you another one. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, not rocket science. It doesn't take a genius to know what the relationship between buy and sell is. But you would have to know a little bit of gematria to know that they have the same number and what that number is. The number is 48. B is the second letter, U is the 21st letter, Y is the 25th letter. That's 48. S is the 19th letter, E is the 5th letter, L is the 12th letter, L is the 12th letter. Add it together, 48. But guess what? It gets better. The word trade is also 48. T is the 20th letter, R is the 18th letter, A is the first letter, D is the 4th letter, E is the 5th letter. Add it together, it's 48. And I'll just throw in for a cherry on top at no extra charge. The word blood is equal to 48 as well. Think about the connection between buy and sell, trade and blood. They're connected conceptually if you think about it. How many wars were fought over money? But not only that, it can go into the Hebrew understanding. That's why when I say English gematria is valid, it's based on the Hebrew concepts. There is a Hebrew word for blood, which is money, damim. And it's because money functions very much like a blood flow. It's like an economy. It has to flow. If it gets clotted, congealed, stops, that's not good. Same thing with money. Money has to flow like a blood flow. It's an economy of the whole body. It has to flow freely to all parts of the body for a healthy body. And the fact that blood is equal to buy, sell, and trade. Now the word money itself is connected to 48. It's just add one more third, and you'll get the word money. What do I mean by that? Money is 72, which is 3 times 24. So if you take 1/3 away at 24, you'll get 48. So buy, sell, and trade, and add. It's not as clear but it's still, you can see the connection. It's even. It's not like saying 103.5. I mean, that would be a harder stretch to connect that. But it's like saying you see the progression. Now, the idea. Okay, I can say like this. Okay, I try to make more connections, but I so like just scratch that, forget it. It's like something was 24. Like 24 is the word ear. But I don't know how ear has to do with. You mean it's a stretch. You have to hear what they're saying, hear the price. Nah, I wouldn't go with that. But ear is 24. You add that. You double that, you get buy sell trade. You add another one, you get money. I'll keep it at that. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll leave it at that for now.